Howdy, folks. Welcome to my Retro Media Room. And today I decided I wanted to take a look at the last 10 years of all of my games of those years, my game of the years of those years. So, starting in 2013, we have right here The Last of Us on PS3. Of course, this is one of my favorite games of all time. And this it's funny, the online pass here for playing the multiplayer. I actually had a code to get on there. So absolutely love The Last of Us, the first one, and this blew me away when it first came out. I beat it at least a couple times on the PS3 version, and what I'll also show here and that I played a lot of are the re-releases of it. So we also have the remastered version this is what I played the most of, because I played the PS3 version a good deal, but then I got this one the following year on PS4, and is quite a bit superior. It's kind of like what they wanted the game to be in the first place, but the PS3 just wasn't capable of, and the PS4 was much better for it, of course. So that extra horsepower gave the game what it needed to be, pretty much what they probably wanted on day one, right? Resolution and frame rate and things like that. Then the PS4 Pro took it even further. You're able to have better frame rate with the resolution. They upgraded that, and so on and so on. So this version evolved for years on PS4. Then, in more recent memory, they came out, and then years later, they came out with The Last of Us Part 1, aka The Last of Us Remake. So it's kind of weird because they didn't re-record or re-mocap or remake hardly anything in the game. All they did was they took the engine, and this isn't a criticism, guy. This is the absolute definitive way to play the game now. But they took the engine of Last of Us Part 2 and kind of retrofitted it to Part 1, and then took some of those mechanics and features from it, tweaked it, added to them, like the weapon benches. It was completely overhauled, which is more like Last of Us Part 2. So it actually made it much more cohesive to Part 2. If you're like a fan of Part 2, this made Part 1 much more like Part 2 in the best ways, technically and graphically. So this is by far the definitive way to play The Last of Us Part 1. I absolutely love this version of it. It's beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful console games you can play right now. In my opinion, it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's a great, and it just takes the amazing classic that I love from 2013 and made it phenomenal to play currently. So, all right, so that's for that year. And for the next year, 2014, that would be Infamous Second Son. So for me, this was the first this was a first generation PS4 game. It might have been a launch title. I could be wrong. If it was either a launch title or it was right after the launch lineup. Either way, whatever. First generation PS4 game. And blew me away. Loved it. It was the first PS4 game to impact me. Be like, wow, this is something different. Like the graphics, the story, the characters, the mechanics. Very, very cool game. Really, really enjoyed it. That's why this makes my game of the year for that year, because it was an okay year, but this game certainly hit the mark for me, and that makes it stand out quite a bit for 2014. And especially in 2014, the PS4 was brand new, and it's very new, and it was experiencing it. Now for 2015, that's going to be Earth Defense Force 4.1. I'm a huge, passionate fan of Earth Defense Force series, the Earth Defense Force series, and this is a remake, a remaster, re-release. Well, I guess you could say it's a remake because they really did. They added stuff, changed stuff, rearranged stuff, updated everything. So it is a re-release, remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, of Earth Defense Force 2025, which that came out on the 360 and PS3. That's a great game. But of course, on the PS3 and 360 at the time, it was a very rough game to play. As much as I love EDF, that's a rough way to play it, especially the PS3 version. It was rough, like the frame rate and everything. This, on the other hand, on PS4 was far superior, especially on the PS4 Pro. It was a very good way to play it. And it was a better version of it in every which way. Like the graphics, the performance, the levels, like everything they did with it, they made it better. And I played the absolute daylights out of this game. Me and my friends, we played it for a long time, and Now, here's the thing though. My basic criteria for game of the year is it has to be a game that I've finished, I've beaten. I try to avoid a game of the year, giving a game of the year title to something that I didn't even finish. So that's why I have a runner up for 2015, and that's Bloodborne. So as an honor or as an honorable mention. So Bloodborne, I know is a fantastic game. I really need to play it. And I'm going to play it on the PS5. I really wish they would have updated it with some kind of PS4 Pro update or PS5 update or anything, but they never have. So it's, but it's still a fantastic game. I love Souls games. We'll get to more of that. But yeah, they just, but I've never finished it. So I probably would make a game of the year even over EDF as much as I love that game. That's what brought my passion to EDF was 4.1. But I never finished this, so I can only give it a honorable mention. And real quickly here, because this is a limited edition of this that I'm very glad I have. It's got the steelbook here. And of course, got the inner case. I love this design of this type of case. Uncharted 4 had one like this that I have as well. Great steelbook. This is all textured, very nice. And then this booklet is actually a handmade booklet, a custom booklet I got from Etsy. I just added that because I just, I like to get these really high quality handmade booklets and add them to stuff. Just to give it more content, because for games I love. Yeah, so Bloodborne's awesome. I really need to play it. All right, next for 2016, we have Dark Souls 3. And it's funny because this is the PS4 version, which is the version I originally played. And I do have a neat trilogy set of Dark Souls on Xbox One. And they did give it a FPS boost on Series X. But this is still, to this day on consoles, the best way to play it on consoles, because not only, and of course I got a very nice textured slipcover for it. I got this, launched this Day 1 edition, and it's got the soundtrack. So this is a fantastic physical edition of this. But this was what made me fall in love with, even though I played Demon Souls on PS3 when it originally came out, I never finished it. It was very tough at the time. But this is what made me fall in love with Souls, was Dark Souls 3. I absolutely love this game. And it was by far and wide far and away my game of the year of 2016. So the Xbox version has the 60 FPS update, but this has the PS4 Pro update, which upped the resolution with a much better picture, and the frame rate is unlocked. So when you play it on PS5, it runs at a very nice 60 FPS through the unlocked frame rate, and it has a superior picture quality. The Xbox version is like 900p, or it's like sub 1080p, like 900p or something. So even though it's running smoothly, it looks quite a bit blurry, where this is more closer to 1440p in the resolution, and it runs at a smooth frame rate because they unlocked the frame rate on the PS5, and because of that, the PS5 version has the horsepower to run very smoothly. So that is the absolute best way to play this game. Anyhow. And next we have for 2017, we have Resident Evil Biohazard. So this is Resident Evil 7. And specifically though, and this is the main reason why, and this was a tough choice because the runner-up or the honorable mention is a huge one. The VR experience of this game, because I have the PS4 VR set. Dude, the VR, this is the transformative VR experience that people were talking about when it comes to VR being the next thing, VR being relevant. Oh, VR is gimmicky. Oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's cool, but no, this was the game. And yeah, I haven't experienced a whole lot since then. I have a number of them. This was the game that, if you want to make a case for a game that showed how VR can be transformative for a gaming experience, it's this. Amazing VR experience. I tried to play it without VR, and I went right back to VR because it is just not the same. The VR experience was the absolute superior premium way to play this. Incredible. Love this game. Love the story, the gameplay. This was a huge comeback for Resident Evil after 6, which was not a very good game. It was a low point for the series, and this came back this came back and just blew my socks off. Absolutely loved it. So, and then my runner-up, or my honorable mention, which if it was not for this being pretty groundbreaking for what it is, and being Resident Evil, which I love Resident Evil, is Earth Defense Force 5. So Earth Defense Force 5 is just simply 4 on steroids. I mean, it's 4.1 on steroids. I mean, this is a monster of a game. Absolutely love it. This is the greatest EDF ever released. It just trumps all the, even though I love EDF in general, I have all of them. But it's the pinnacle EDF. And that's what I'm hoping 6 is going to be. And I'm really looking forward to 6 in the spring. So absolutely love this game. Platinumed this game, and I rarely platinum games on PlayStation. And this one, me and my friend did. Me and my friend Mike did, and that took years to do because it's a very tough platinum trophy to get. Absolutely love EDF 5. And this is a sealed copy because I have it digitally, but I just bought this to keep because I love this game so much. All right, on to 2018. It's very simple. Red Dead Redemption 2. No question, no thought, no argument for me, nothing. I'm just simply this, Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the greatest games of the last... Well, this is easily on this list of my last 10 years and last 10 years of 10 games of the year. This is like just such a juggernaut of a title, of storytelling, of graphics, of world building, of everything, of detail. Absolutely incredible game that I am currently working on. I'm working on playing again, and this is the Steelbook. You got you got this external map, you got this regular. I mean, it's just wow. I can't say enough. I can't praise this game enough. This game is a absolute masterpiece that, well, hopefully we'll see more like this again, but it's somewhat doubtful, and because just they don't make games like that anymore. I mean, granted, they poured a lot of money and time into development. So next game for 2019, and that has a runner-up, or has a honorable mention, Days Gone. And this is another custom. That PS5 one was custom, and this is unofficial custom slip covers because I don't like having naked steelbooks if I can help it, naked. But so Days Gone, I played it day one and beat it, and it was far and away, right away, my game of the year for 2019. I loved Days Gone. Incredible PlayStation exclusive. I even played it back when before it was patched, and it had bugs and it was kind of rough at times, but the story and the characters and the world and the combat, everything about it, I love Days Gone. It's fantastic. So Days Gone is easily one of my favorite PS4 games, and it was my game of the year for 2019. Now, but then with the honorable mention here, boy, it was tough. It's tough because I also dearly love this honorable mention, and that's Death Stranding. Holy crap, I love this game. It's my favorite it's my favorite Kojima game. It has incredible visuals. It's the same engine as Horizon, and which that engine started with Killzone 4, basically on PS4. That's where the engine started, and this is one of the later iterations of that engine. And before Hidden West, Horizon Forbidden West is the latest iteration of this engine. But my lord, this what an incredible game! The story, the world, the exploration, the vision. I mean, everything. The soundtrack. I mean, just I adore this game. I really do. And yeah, there's a lot of people that refuse to play it, didn't like it, don't understand it. Fine. I love it. Absolutely love this game. I fell in love with it. I cherish it. Days Gone just hit the mark so well with me that I gave it Game of the Year, but this is right next to it. All right, so for 2020, move this here. 2020 is just simple. Kind of like Red Dead. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm biased. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. And Remake blew my socks off and met all my possible expectations. I love this game. During 2020, it just brought me happiness. And I love this game. I've beaten it multiple times. I platinumed it and everything. I mean, I love this game. I really do. It's fantastic. it's just so good. It's as a huge fan of the original, I can't imagine them doing better for the most part. I mean, does that mean it's a perfect game? Well, no, it's not. It's not a perfect video game, but in terms of it being just fantastic, faithful to the original, and just a great RPG and great characters and everything in between, it's just phenomenal. I love this game. I'm super excited for Rebirth in the spring, just like I am EDF6. So those are literally my two most important games of 2024 by far. So this has a mini soundtrack, as a booklet, or as an art book, and of course the steel book, which is a fantastic steel book. And I have I got a handmade manual I got for it just to keep it company, and of course the standard case of 2 discs. So yeah, yeah, this game is important to me. I'm looking forward to the next one, and then the one after that to finish it. All right, so for 2021. I have a honorable mention for this. So It Takes Two. Now, this is the case where I played this way after the year it came out, but I loved it so much, I retroactively go back and give it Game of the Year. I don't do that a lot. I try not to. But in this case, it just really pleasantly surprised me. Me and my buddy Mike, again, we played it together, beat it together, and wow. It's an incredible game. It really is. It's really special. Gorgeous graphics, fantastic story, the themes, everything about it is just, it's fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this game. It is one of the best modern co-op experiences, period, and it's easily one of the best co-op experiences of all time. Fantastic. Just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic game. Now, a easy runner-up to this, that was before I played this, was my original Game of the Year that year, is Resident Evil Village. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Loved 7. Village is great. I really like Village a lot, and the DLC actually was really good and finished it off very well. Yeah, I love Village. Now, and I really want to play the VR on this. I just don't have the latest VR. I only have the PS4 VR. I want the PS5. I want the VR2, V2. So I will do that eventually, but for now, but I love the game though. Obviously I have to get the PS5 version, but that's fine. Or PS4 version, whatever. But yeah, I love Resident Evil Village. It was great. It was not quite as impactful just because of the way it was. It didn't blow my socks off the same level that 7 did, but Resident Evil 8 Village is, well, I love it. I really do love it. But It Takes Two was just something special, though, and I had to give it to It Takes Two. Because this is like an 8 out of 10, even an 8.5 out of 10. It Takes Two is a 9 to 9.5 out of 10. So I have to give it to It Takes Two. And it's just a really special game. So now we move on to 2022. And this has an honorable mention as well. We have Elden Ring. Once again, we got a Souls game, a From Software game. I fell in love with Elden Ring, kind of like I did Death Stranding, Days Gone, and it's just a absolutely ambitious, wonderful game. I love Elden Ring. I played the living daylights out of it. I 100%ed the achievements on it, which on I don't do that very often. I don't platinum games very often. I don't 100% achievement games very often, but I did with this. And this is the steel book that came with my version, or what I got from Best Buy. And that's actually a handmade booklet I got in there, so I'm happy to fill it in. And yeah, I absolutely, Elden Ring is, even though and Dark Souls 3, I love Dark Souls 3, but Elden Ring was like the evolution of, I was like, I think it's the opus of From Software for me personally. Sekiro is the only one I didn't care for. I really didn't care for Sekiro. It just didn't do it for me as a From Software game. But I love Elden Ring. I absolutely love Elden Ring. One of my favorite games of all time. All right, so, and that's, oh, you know what? Here's the thing. I beat this originally in 2020, in 2022, and loved it. But then and I could have retroactively changed it for the next one, but I decided not to. But it's really close for my honorable mention. God of War Ragnarok. I beat this. I was behind on God of War, so God of War 4 into this, so I beat them both back to back a while, like earlier this year or months ago, and just blown away. incredible. Absolutely incredible. God of War as a series is amazing. I love the whole series. I played quite a bit of it. But God of War 4 and then into this, you play them back to back, the way they have this cohesive story. I mean, they're just incredible. They're fantastic. They're what, if you want to make a case for how PlayStation has incredible exclusives, it's these games. God of War 4 and this are just fantastic, right? Fantastic. So Elden Ring still holds the title, but this is right along with it. Now, finally, for me at this point for 2023, that's going to be Resident Evil 4 Remake. I love this game. And this is one I mentioned I'm playing right now. And I'm playing Separate Ways, Ada's episode that I just downloaded and playing. And I'm falling in love with it all over again. And the way they've updated it and tweaked it, it is a wonderful, wonderful game. The original is one of my favorite games of all time. And of course, this is the steelbook for it I got as well. So the original is one of my favorite games of all time on the GameCube. The disc is in the console, so that's why it's not in here. But Resident Evil 4 Remake, God, and Resident Evil 2 Remake is amazing. I love Resident Evil. The original Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Shinji Mikami is one of my favorite creators of all time, along with Hideo Kojima and Harunobu Sakaguchi and so on, right? So, but yeah, for this year, and I've played Starfield, I've played Lies of P, in terms of games I've completed and played thoroughly and really, really enjoyed. This is by far my game of the year for 2023, and I don't see it changing. So this is a little bit of a longer one. If you all watched it till this point, I appreciate it. And give it a like and definitely hope you subscribe if you want to see more and even watch some of my other videos I've already been posting. I just kind of do what comes to my heart and what I want to talk about, really, or just what I feel like making videos about, because I'm just passionate about games and collecting. What can I say? I just enjoy it. And I just want to talk about it. My heart fills with thoughts and feelings about these things, and I just want to lay it out for people to see. It's simple as that. All right. Well, you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.